Hi guys, it's Suzanne Chan from Mom Confessionals, and today I am here to talk about recording baseball games. So I have a 9-year-old son who plays travel baseball, and I am team mom. And I love to record their baseball games. I also take beautiful pictures of all of him and his teammates, but one of the things I love to do afterwards is kind of make short little mini clips of awesome plays that were made by some of his teammates and him as well. So I'm going to talk about some of the equipment because I'm often asked about this by other teams when they see the whole setup that I have. But as a lot of people know, a big staple for recording any sort of action videos is the GoPro. So I have the GoPro Hero 6 Black, this little guy here. I love this one. I know that there is the GoPro Hero 7, which actually came out at the time that I purchased the Hero 6, but this one actually fit the needs for me. And I kind of looked at all of the different features between the two, and I know that the 7 many people love for some of the streaming and Wi-Fi capabilities, but that wasn't something that I really needed. It was more for me just to record the games and then go in afterwards and kind of pick out the clips that I wanted to extract from them. So for me, the GoPro Hero 6 with the higher resolution was exactly what I was looking for. So I love this little guy here, and it records beautiful videos, and I often use it at a setting of 2.7K at 120 frames per second. That is my sweet spot, because a lot of times afterwards I do a lot of post editing, and I like to do zooming in and panning on the footage, and that actually lets me do that really nicely at that level. So the other thing when you're using a GoPro is the need for a microSD card. And that is extremely important for you to consider. What I did not know when I first bought the GoPro Hero 6 is that only certain SD cards are approved for use with the GoPro. And GoPro actually has a page where they list by model exactly which SD cards work with their different GoPro models. And I actually tend to veer towards some of the bigger names. So I like SanDisk and I like Samsung. And for this particular GoPro, and my new favorite card, absolutely favorite card, is the Samsung Evo Plus 256. So this is the largest sized micro SD card that they recommend on their site for use with the GoPro Hero 6. So always check their site. But this gives me about 9 hours of recording time, which is amazing. 9 hours of recording time at 2.7K, 120 frames per minute. That's per second, sorry. That is a lot of video footage, which is really great. Okay. So thinking about that, and a lot of people are going to say, but the battery only lasts 45 minutes, each battery. And believe me, I bought 3 batteries to go with this GoPro Hero 6. So I know. But, and I've also seen many people rig their cameras with funny little contraptions, hanging wires off of their GoPro, making it extra bulky and heavy with external battery packs. But my favorite absolute go-to tool is this. This is the DigiPower 9-hour action pack extended battery for GoPro Hero 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Always check the site to make sure that your model fits in here, but it fits most of the GoPro Hero family. And this is really awesome. So it's so simple. You actually have to pop off the cover off of the charging area, but and the cover comes off quite easily, but then you would just kind of pop it in to the battery pack, and it actually locks in very nicely. So this thing is completely waterproof, which is amazing, but it also keeps a majority of the surface area on the GoPro Hero 6 visible. And that's really great to help expel some of the heat that the GoPro Heroes generate. As we all know, in order for it to be so small, they do sacrifice on being able to keep itself cool. So I know a lot of people talk about how often their GoPros freeze up or need repair because they're overheating. And this covering itself actually helps to make that a lot better. That's not to say that my camera still doesn't overheat, but have other little tricks to make that not happen as well. But just the mere fact that a majority of the actual GoPro exterior is exposed helps that it gives off heat on its own. So this is a sizable battery, but given the fact that it gives you 9 hours of battery life, I think it's actually very, very well worth it. And it actually helps me make it feel a little bit more sturdier as well. And this DigiPower 9-hour action pack runs about $60, and you can buy it at like Best Buy, Amazon, and this is my absolute favorite battery pack ever. I have been using it nonstop, and it really, really does consistently give you about 9 hours of battery life. So this other thing that you guys see here is the FenceClip. I love the FenceClip. This is the original version of the FenceClip, and there are 2 newer models. There's like a limited edition one and a FenceClip Mini, which I have not tested myself, but they look equally as sturdy. As you can see, this is pretty solid and it attaches directly to the chain link fence that can be typically found at most baseball fields, and that really lets you just clamp it on nice and tight. It does also come with like a safety tether, but I have found that this is pretty solid. I have never had a ball hit the gate or fence that hard that my GoPro comes flying off. Knock on wood. Watch me say that, and that's going to happen to me the next time. But this gets locked in pretty tightly onto that, and it's got a lot of room and space for maneuverability to really just capture that right angle that I get. When I record a baseball game, I typically record in the wide view so I can get the entire field. And later on, I do a lot of post-editing in GoPro Studio, which we will talk about in a little bit more. But when I record at 2.7K, and at 120 frames per second, it really allows me not to lose a lot of the quality of the video when I do the different little highlight videos that I make. So the FenceClip, the new one, runs about $80 as well. Their limited edition one is about $60, which kind of looks like a revised version of this one. The Mini is a little bit smaller and more compact, and that one's about $80. And those are like my staple items that I always bring with me whenever I'm recording a baseball game. As far as post-editing wise, I still love to use GoPro Studio, which I know GoPro no longer supports, but you can find it on a lot of different websites to download their old versions, and they are still functionally really, really good. I love that it's super easy to use, and you can make clips, and you can go in and zoom in on sections of the video and then pan really nicely, and it exports it in GoPro quality video. So those are my tools and tips for recording a baseball game. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Comment below, like my video, and of course I will leave the links down below for where to buy all of these items, as well as the GoPro page for their SD card recommendations. Thank you.